All right, let's talk about precision nutrition. So this is another option for you. This is going to be for the people that don't want to count macros. So who is precision nutrition for? Those that need structure, and all of us need structure. So you should be raising your hand when I said those who need structure. All of us need structure, but it's structure without having to count macros. It's structure without having to count calories. Precision nutrition really uses portion control, and there's no weighing or measuring required. So for a lot of us, it's going to be more of a lifestyle than what macros is going to be. But if you're the type that needs that absolute structure that the macros provide, then you're going to follow the macros. But if you want structure, but you don't want all that the macros requires, then precision nutrition is going to be a much better option for you. If you struggled counting macros during the challenge, then most likely it's not going to be a lifestyle for you. So precision nutrition will be a better option. The macros just took way too much effort for you. Then again, precision nutrition is going to be better. And then if you're not necessarily aggressively trying to lose weight, and you would like to maintain, then precision nutrition is going to be a better option for you as well. So precision nutrition has 10 rules of good nutrition. I'm going to actually link up a strategy guide written by Precision Nutrition that if you really want to geek out and you really want to nerd out on all the details of precision nutrition, feel free to read that guide. I think it's about 42 pages, but you really don't have to, because I'm going to cover the gist of it in a much shorter period of time and can save you reading 42 pages. So consistently eat every 2 to 3 hours. 4 hours is okay, but no different than what you were doing with the challenge. It's important to eat consistently on the same time interval. So consistently eat every 2 to 3 hours is number one. Number two, eat lean protein each time you eat. So no different than the challenge. We want to make sure you're eating protein at every single time. You're going to eat your veggies every time you eat. Again, same as the challenge. You're going to earn your carbs. So the strategic carb intake. So with us, you're going to have a weight loss option, you're going to have a maintenance option. But typically, just like with the challenge, the most opportune time to eat carbohydrates is following a workout. So we'll talk about post-workout nutrition with precision nutrition. Now, learn to love healthy fats. So just like our program, we really like to emphasize eating healthy fats. Healthy fats are optimal for our health. And a lot of us tend to not eat enough of them. So you're going to learn to love those. Ditch the calorie-containing drinks. So we're talking juices, we're talking sodas, we're talking alcohol. Obviously, we want to limit those as much as possible. We're going to focus on whole foods, just like we did with the challenge. You're going to actually be eating from the same list as what we did with the challenge. One of the things that you'll like is the additional recipes that come with precision nutrition, and you can follow recipes without having to count anything. Okay, so that's even awesome. Have 10% foods. So 10% precision nutrition has a 90-10 rule. So 90% of the time you're going to eat the way that you're supposed to, and then you're going to have 10% freedom with your meals. So what does 10% even look like? If you were to eat 6 times a day, that's 42 meals a week. That means 4 times out of the week you have some freedom with your food choices, which again, it's about progress, not perfection, and being consistent with what you're doing. You don't have to be perfect with what you're doing. Develop food preparation strategies. So in the mindset video, you heard me talk about the 3 Ps. No different with precision nutrition. I don't care what the program is, you're still going to have to plan and prep your food. There is still going to be a level of that. But what's great is with precision nutrition, it makes it even easier to eat out and still make food choices that get you closer to your goals. The last one is balance daily food choices with healthy variety. A lot of us get bored when we eat the same things over and over and over again. So with that, having some healthy variety in our programming, and that goes again with planning and prepping that. And what's great is an easy way to do that is by using the Precision Nutrition Recipe Guides, which we do sell the books at Bootcamp. So if you want that, you can purchase it there. All right. Precision nutrition principles to fit your goal. So with precision nutrition, we have 2 types of precision nutrition meals. We have post-workout meals. Doesn't necessarily have to be a post-workout, but typically that's the way it was designed. But in that meal, you're going to have a serving of protein. You're going to have a serving of carbohydrates, typically from a starchy source, and you're going to have a serving of vegetables. Anytime meals consist of a serving of protein, a serving of healthy fat, and a serving of vegetables. So the only difference really between a post-workout meal and an anytime meal is post-workout meals are going to be a little bit bigger meal because they're going to have carbohydrates besides vegetables. And then your anytime meals are going to have fat. So when carbs are higher, fats are lower, and when fats are higher, carbohydrates are lower. So there's really only two types of meals to concern yourselves with precision nutrition, which is great. So again, we have our post-workout meal. So this kind of is the precision nutrition plate. So you can see it's broken up into, this is a post-workout meal. It's broken up into protein, starches, and the vegetables and fruits. And then we have our anytime meals, which is going to be proteins, fats, and veggies. And we'll talk about actually adding in some fruit depending on what your goals are with that as well. So going back into portion control. So precision nutrition is all about portion control. It's not, and we're going to measure actually with our hand. So your perfect measuring tool is actually going to be your hand with precision nutrition. So there's no counting required, just your hands. And by doing this, you're going to ultimately get the same result by controlling your calories. So with counting macros, we're controlling your caloric intake by your macros. Where here, we're controlling your caloric intake by portion control. And what's great is portion, you can take your hand everywhere, right? You can take your hand to a restaurant, you can take your hand into your own kitchen, whatever you need, you got your perfect measuring tool with you at all times. All right, so protein serving size is going to be a palm. I'm going to have an infographic in the next slide so you can see that. But palm is going to be protein size. Carbs is going to be a cupped hand. Fat is going to be your thumb. And veggies is your fist. So what if you're a bigger person? Guess what? Most of the time, your hands are going to be in correlation with the size of your body. So the bigger the person, typically the bigger the portion. The smaller the person, the smaller the hand, the smaller the portion. So it's built-in portion control and size control, which is amazing. All right, so let's talk about protein. So for women, it's going to be 1 palm of protein. For men, it's going to be 2 palms of protein. So again, your serving size will be dictated by your palm. And guys, lucky for you, you get 2 servings, you get more protein. And ladies, you get a little bit less. You get 1 palm. All right, let's talk about carbohydrates. Whether it comes from a starchy source or it comes from fruits, it's going to be 1 cupped palm. And then guys, you get 2 cup palms for your serving of carbohydrates. Fats. Women, the size of your thumb is going to be a serving size. And then guys, you get 2 thumbs. So you get more. Guys typically have a higher metabolism, require more caloric intake, so they get to eat more food. Lucky us. Vegetables is going to just be a fist. So ladies, you get 1 fist. Guys, you get 2 fists of vegetables. And that's going to be your serving sizes. So again, protein, it's going to be a palm. Carbohydrates, it's going to be a cupped palm. Fat sources are going to be a thumb. And then vegetables are going to be your fist. All right, let's talk about if you want maintenance and lifestyle, this is going to be what you need to do with precision nutrition. This is how the anytime meals and the post-workout meals and fruit and all these things come into play. So if your goal is just maintenance and lifestyle, you're going to have post-workout meal after your workout is ideal, and you're just going to have 1. So you're going to have 1 post-workout meal a day. And you can have the post-workout on days you don't work out as well. Ideal time is right after your workout. Your body is most primed to utilize the carbohydrates effectively than any other time of the day. But for lifestyle's sake, it's okay to have it for dinner. If you work out in the morning, it's okay to have that post-workout meal in the evening. It's a lot easier to have like starchy carbohydrates and the things that are inside the post-workout meal with your family. So if you prefer to have that in the evening, go for it. Have your post-workout meal in the evening. Again, it's about making it a lifestyle and not perfection. And at the end of the day, it's about total amount of calories taken in not just timing. Timing does, maybe it's a 5% thing, but overall it really doesn't make a big difference. The rest of your meals are going to be anytime meals plus fruit. So again, your anytime meals are going to be a serving of protein, a serving of healthy fats, and a serving of vegetables. And it's okay to add in a serving of fruit with it as well. So if you looked at the diagram, the anytime meals were just protein, healthy fats, and vegetables. But now that you're in a maintenance level and making it a lifestyle, it is okay to add fruit to those meals as well. So with precision nutrition, I still want you tracking. Even if you're in maintenance mode, you should still be tracking your results and then making adjustments if necessary. If you start gaining weight, and not good weight, not just, hey, the scale went up, but noticeably you're gaining a little bit of weight, make adjustments. And the easiest way to make an adjustment is just reducing some of your fruit intake. If you're eating fruit at every single meal, at the end of the day, it's still carbohydrates, it's still calories. Maybe you're in a calorie excess, or maybe you're just the 90-10 rule, which we'll talk about at the end, is actually like 80-20 or 70-30 or 60-40 instead of 90-10. So again, you need to be tracking, you need to be holding yourself accountable so that if you need to course correct, you're able to. But the only way you're able to course correct is if you're holding yourself accountable by tracking. All right, let's talk about if you want to continue to lose weight. Post-workout meals, you're gonna have 2 post-workout meals. So you're gonna have them pre and post-workout. Again, if you want to move one of your post-workout meals to dinner, that's perfectly acceptable. That is okay. If you work out in the morning, I'd recommend having one of your post-workout meals, post-workout. And then if you want to have a meal in the evening, you can do that. Ideal scenario, again, is placing those post-workout meals before your workout and then after your workout. So again, a post-workout meal is a protein, a starch, and a veggie, and we're trying to keep fat as low as possible. And then the rest of the time, you're going to stick to anytime meals. The veggies, make sure you're sticking to free veggies, no starchy veggies with that. And then we're not going to be adding fruit into those. If you're actively, trying to lose weight, then you're going to want to reduce the fruit. You're going to want to reduce your carbohydrate intake. If you really love fruit, replace the starch inside your post-workout meal for a fruit for your carbohydrates in those post-workout meals. So again, if the goal is weight loss, you're going to have 2 post-workout meals. So that means you're going to have 2 meals with carbohydrates in them, not including veggies. And then the rest of your meals, you're going to have anytime meals. And you're not going to have fruit with your anytime meals. Now let's talk about adjustments. If you start to stall or plateau, one thing you can do is change out what is your pre-workout meal, which is a post-workout meal, for an anytime meal. So you still want to make sure that you're eating your post-workout meal after your workouts, or again with your dinner meal. So you're just going to replace one of your post-workout meals with an anytime meal, which is going to further reduce your carbohydrate intake. And typically for most, that's all the adjustments that you need to make. All right, 90-10 rule. Again, it's about consistency, not perfection, and that's when it becomes a lifestyle. So our goal is lifestyle. It's not perfection. Trying to hold yourself to being perfect is not sustainable. Could you do it for a while? Yes, but can you do it for the rest of your life? No. So 10% of the time you get to eat off the list or eat off the plan. Again, this is in moderation though when we talk about the 10% rule. So if you're eating 6 times per day, that's 42 meals per week. That's 42 times a week you're eating. That means 4 of the meals can be off plan. Now, this isn't like all out cheat meals. This isn't like binge eating for those 4 meals. It's everything is with moderation when we talk about the 90-10. So that might be adding a glass of wine to dinner. That might be having a small dessert. That might be having 1 or 2 pieces of pizza. Nothing crazy. No epic cheat meals. Now, if you're the type of person that you just want to have a cheat meal and really enjoy yourself, then just have 1, and that will be your 10%. Okay. But again, it's really starting to get to know who you are as a person. For the 90-10 to work, it needs to be in moderation. And then what can't happen is 90-10 can't turn into 80-20, 70-30, 60-40, where you're now eating 10 meals off plan or 12 meals off plan, or you know, instead of one big cheat meal, you're having like 4 big cheat meals every single week. And it just turned into something that was never designed to be. There's designed to have that freedom, so you don't feel like you have to be perfect all the time, but you still have to stick to the 90-10 for it to work out. And then again, holding yourself accountable to that perception and reality. And a lot of people are, oh, I'm doing the 90-10, and I'm doing perfect 90% of the time, and 10% of the time I'm, you know, eating off the list. But if you were to actually look at it, a lot of times it turns into 80-20, 70-30, and that's why you're not getting the results with precision nutrition. So make sure you're holding yourself accountable to the 90-10, and you're still going to get the results that you seek. All right, so recap. Again, this is very simplistic. It's very easy, but ultimately it's hard because you still have to do it. So with weight loss, you're going to have 2 post-workout meals. The rest of the time, you're going to have anytime meals with no additional fruit intake. If your goal is maintenance and lifestyle, you're going to have 1 post-workout meal, and the rest of your meals will be anytime meals. You can add additional fruit to that. Make sure that you're continuing to use provided food list. We're eating whole foods. We're not eating processed crap food. We still want to try to avoid putting ourselves in bad situations like restaurants and different social outings. Make sure we're still setting ourselves up for success. But that's where, obviously, with the portion control, you can find yourself in any situation and make good decisions. And that's also where the 90-10 comes in as well. All right, resources for you. Precision Nutrition Recipe Book. What's great is the anytime meals or post-workout meals. The recipe guide, that's how they're broken down into. So you can find anytime meals, you can find post-workout meals, and you can find food that the family will enjoy as well. They're great tasting recipes. So with the post-workout meals, again, making it a lifestyle, most likely you can find tons of meals that you can enjoy, your family can enjoy, and you can stay on track. And there's no thinking required, there's no counting required. Simply make it and eat it and know that you're doing something good for your body. If you have very direct, specific questions, you can reach Leanna, who is our nutritionist, and that is her email. You can also ask questions in the Facebook group. We'd be more than happy to answer those for you. And then I will also be linking the Precision Nutrition Strategy Guide, which if you really want to geek out and you want to know the ins and outs of why you're doing it, why it's set up that way, and all that fun stuff, you can definitely take the time to read that. And then if you read it and you have questions afterwards, please, please, please ask, and we'll be happy to answer those for you. All right, that is precision nutrition. So whether you're counting macros or you're doing precision nutrition, you need to have a plan after the 12 weeks is over or after the 6 weeks is over so that you can be successful. Whatever one works for you, do that, commit, go all in, and you're going to continue to have success.